And this is the Cochise County Board of Supervisors agenda for the Cochise County Jail District Board of Directors meeting Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025 at 10 a.m. Board of Supervisors Hearing Room, 1415 Melody Lane, Building G, Bisbee, Arizona. Pursuant to ARS 38431.02H, the public will have physical access to the meeting place 15 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. Any item on this agenda is open for discussion and possible action. Members of the Cochise County Board of Supervisors will attend either in person or by telephone, video, or internet conferencing. Members of the public may also attend this meeting via Microsoft Teams, computer or mobile app, or via phone by calling 602-609-7513 or 888-680-6714. Conference ID 340-572-299#. If you have trouble accessing this meeting remotely, call 520-432-9200 for direction. The board may permit public comment during discussion of any item on this agenda. To speak to an agenda item, complete and return the speaker request form to the clerk of the board prior to the start of the meeting. Roll call. District 1, Crosby is present. District 2.
Gomez is here.
And District 3.
Antonori is here.
And we have 3 supervisors, 2 in person, and Mr. Antonori is on Teams or the phone. We have a call to the public person that has sought to speak on this. So looking for, I believe, make sure I get the jail district. Here we go. I'm sorry. Ms. Kim Depew, would you please address the board if you care to? This is if you would rather go to, it says item 3, jail district. So one speaker, it's up to you.
Now it's good.
Okay, sounds good.
My name's Kim Depew. I'm from Sierra Vista. Good morning, supervisors. Thank you for your hard work toward settlement and progress on building our new jail. I have questions, and I'll pose them to you if you'll bear with me. Was it not possible to dissolve the jail district and fund the new jail another way? What happens to jail district funds already collected? The district was authorized because the excise tax was approved by voters. How can the district exist if that taxing approval has been declared illegitimate? For the November election, how can the board eliminate the words on the ballot operating, maintaining from the resolution? I suspect this truncation of the ARS language is leaving the district open once again to challenge. This language appears to be required per statute 48-4001. Resolution today, JD 25-02, should specifically end the jail district and tax on a date certain. The open-ended language is unacceptable. We just don't trust supervisors we haven't elected yet. The new publicity pamphlet needs to somehow, and this is a huge task in my estimation, clarify the journey of our jail district. The voting public in Cochise County thinks they are voting either in favor of building a new jail or not. Most residents I've talked to think this is a vote for or against our beloved sheriff. This was and is still a false choice, but few people seem to grasp the details of jail district versus no jail district and a lifelong sales tax. Thank you for considering my questions.
Thank you, Madam Depew. And I do believe that I have correctly called the people for the items as they were scheduled, and we will proceed. In other words, Ms. Harris.
Oh, you're on track.
Okay, so it's not Ms. Harris now. Say?
Yes, it is.
Yes, what? It is Ms. Harris. Okay, excuse me. Ms. Kara Harris, are you out there?
Yes, I'm out here, and thank you, Supervisor Crosby, Supervisor Antonori, and Supervisor Gomez for listening to me. I'm a resident of Whetstone. I've been here 25 years, and I'm a lifelong resident, was born at Tucson Medical Center. Concerning this jail tax, I realize that this judge has hamstrung all 3 of you so that we have to go forward and have an election My frustration comes, and like Kim says, we're not voting on the sheriff. This has nothing to do with that. But in the violation of our Constitution, you all do know when you put your hands up and swore to the Constitution, you were agreeing to it, and we needed a referendum, which meant approximately 12,000 signatures before that was supposed to go on the ballot. I think if things had been done legitimately, a lot of us would be feeling differently now. For Mr. LaChance, it was not about the money. And the ruling that the judge made has kind of tied everybody's hands. So while that is true, I wish to state I will do everything in my power to defeat a lifelong tax on my children and my grandchildren. And you that know me know I have a teenage child who will someday possibly stay here and bear children. I do not want this tax levied on her. I also request that you do some sort of audit on all the money that was collected thus far on that illegal jail tax. And I want to know where our tax dollars have gone. So I request, as a private citizen, an audit. And I want to thank you guys for an awesome job being under the gun by not one group, but two groups of people that differ 100% with each other. Thank you for what you're doing, and have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. That concludes the speakers for the jail district, so we would move on to the consent agenda. Madam Gomez, would you please give us a motion for the consent agenda items 1 and 2?
I motion to approve consent items 1 and 2 for the jail district board of directors.
And a second. There is a motion and a second. We've had discussion. Is there any further discussion from the board? Okay, perhaps well, anyway. So there is a motion and a second and no further discussion. So I call for the question. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. It passes unanimously, and we do have a third agenda item. And Ms. Gomez, would you please give a motion for the item number 3?
I motion to approve item number 3 to adopt jail district resolution number 25-02, ending the collection of the Cochise County Jail District excise tax.
Is there a second?
I second it.
There is a motion and a second for discussion. Do we have a copy? Are we looking at it? Or what is the resolution?
Vice Chair Crosby, the clerk is going to bring up the
Okay, that's
resolution
fine.
for everyone. If you'll allow, I'll just give a brief
Go right ahead, Ms.
information.
Gilman.
So the resolution before the board today is to end the collection of the Cochise County Jail District excise tax as per the settlement agreement between the board and the plaintiffs in the mentioned lawsuit regarding the jail district. The staff has been in touch with the Arizona Department of Revenue, and they do require a 60-day notice before ending the tax, so that they can communicate to the businesses the process for ending the tax. So the tax will end on July 31st. Pending board approval today, we will subsequently, after this meeting, send this resolution to the Department of Revenue for them to process the information and get the information out to business owners.
Okay. Since I'm sure that everybody has read all the whereases, so let's just go right down to the resolution part for everybody's enjoyment. Well, we perhaps talk a little bit about this resolution. And so, Ms. Gilman, would you care to share with us to your knowledge, what is the rationale for not collecting signatures for this upcoming election?
I would have to defer to our attorneys
Attorney,
regarding the matter surrounding the
Okay.
election.
I'm not saying I agree with it or not, but it is my impression that the rationale for not collecting signatures for this election is that the issue has already gotten close to, thousands and thousands of votes. And so in my informal discussions, I don't have that in writing anywhere, but that is my impression of why there are no signatures required this time for this election. And that was one of the questions that was brought up, I believe. Was there any other matters that you cared to address, Madam Gomez?
Well, I know that I gather that this was an issue in the lawsuit originally, but my concern was that that was the environment or the venue to deal with the referendum issue. And I don't know what happened in that settlement discussion, but as I understand, I've been told that when you are going to do a tax for a jail, it can be a referendum. And I was trying to find out if that's true, even talked to our lawyer, and didn't get any kind of, real confirmation that that was the case. But I'm sorry to say that this wasn't done during the discussion among the people who were suing the county on the way the election was done. And I would have thought that would have been dealt with within that discussion with the lawyer and the LaChance party. And can you tell me, do you know why that wasn't handled there?
I can add on there.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's three basic points here that again, number one is both the Superior and Appellate Court addressed the 3/5 issue, and based on their opinion, it was related to the Special District Title 48 didn't require it in their opinion, and that was the challenge that Mr. LaChance brought. During the negotiation with Mr. LaChance, attorneys agreed that since the number of votes that occurred in the May election was sufficient to meet the signature requirement had there been signatures collected, and affirmation of that number, Mr. LaChance and his attorney agreed that that was sufficient to meet the number of signatures required to refer it on the ballot. So during settlement, he agreed to that basically. And then third, now that we have the court opinion from the current Superior Court judge and the agreement to go forward, part of that agreement and approval from the judge in order to dismiss the lawsuit was that we do a new election. So that was sort of dictated by the current court. So that is the justification for negating the 3/5, or not the 3/5, excuse me, the signature petition requirement to refer this to the ballot.
Okay.
Yeah, I thank you for that, because I think that explains it maybe for the audience too, what happened, so that's why we're where we're at.
Well, I don't know
and while I'm on
if there's not an adequate explanation besides it is a
No,
big
there's
mess.
not.
No, but
And
I
what
mean,
what going forward, talking to our attorney's office, is possibly doing a resolution that requires, specifically in Cochise County, any ballot referral to be done through petition in the future. And we'll have a work session on that at a later date to where we start drafting a resolution for future elections so this issue doesn't happen again. And that was also part of the discussions we had with Mr. LaChance and his attorney, was that the county going forward would develop a resolution that would require sufficient signatures to refer stuff to the ballot in the future.
Okay. There's many of these issues. Another one is the last one was going to be all mail-in only. This next one is not going to be all mail-in only.
That is correct.
And so because that brings in the issue of equal protection. You have some people whose signatures are required to vote, and other people their signature is not required. In other words, you go to vote at the polls and you have to have a signature. So unfortunately, we're all trying to do the best we can. And like I said, it's a big mess, and it started with its designation as mail-in only, in my opinion. So here we are, and this is, so can we go back to the resolution, please? Thank you, Mr. Antonori. Okay. So, Board of Directors of the Cochise County Jail District hereby adopts this resolution ending the collection of the Cochise County Jail District excise tax by the Arizona Department of Revenue effective July 31st, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. unless subsequently directed otherwise by the Cochise County Jail District Board of Directors. So that is the resolution. The whereases are interesting, but the resolution is the resolution. So we have a
One question.
yes.
I do note in here we don't have any kind of a time limit. It's not a, there's nothing in here that says that we want to go for whatever, like 20 years or 30 years. So
No,
I just want people.
So this is
This
Yeah,
is just
not
this is
valid.
not that.
Not the ballot. It's just in
Not
the
the ballot
tax.
language,
Right.
correct.
But we don't have in the whereases anything that would say that we're going to go for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's not in the whereas.
when we
So
right, when
there's
we
gonna
draft
be-
the actual ballot language, we'll make sure to include that in the ballot language.
Thank you, Mr. Antonori, and for everybody in the public, you hopefully get the idea that there will be plenty of time for public input about what the ballot language should be and so on.
I just want to reiterate too to the people, because I've gotten a lot of people who still think that we're against a jail. I actually am astounded that even if this passed, it would be a couple of years before a jail will be built. If it was to have gone through and everything was kosher, it's still going to take a couple of years. So this board is not against a jail at all. We know that it has to be done. We just have a difference of opinion on how to pay for it.
Thank you, Madam Gomez. Mr. Antonori, are you concluded with your comments?
I just want to, I think Ms. Depew, one of the speakers earlier, brought up the issue about the timeline regarding the tax repeal. I hope that basically what we had in the resolution answers that question for her. We are bound by AD, the Arizona Department of Revenue, and their timetable. We do not have the authority to start and stop the sales tax other through notifying the Department of Revenue to execute that. They need sufficient time to notify all the point of sale software companies and retailers of a date. So that's why we're trying to get this resolution done as quickly as we can and so Ms. Gilman can get it up there to them so they can end it by the end of July. So that is the timetable. I know she had a question why there wasn't a specific timetable, but that is the timetable that we are bound through the Department of Revenue, and that's what we're going off of.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Antonori. And so looking at the back of this, I noticed that we have one speaker for call of the public, which we've heard from, and one speaker for item number 3. And I believe that we've heard from all our public speakers. Have we had a motion and a second? Okay. So since we've had a motion and a second, I call for the question for item number 3. All those in favor say aye.
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 Chair votes aye, and the motion passes unanimously. So we will prepare to adjourn, and the next meeting will be immediately following this, and it will be our regular board meeting. This meeting is adjourned.